welcome to my channel, Frog with a Blog. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I'm so happy that you're here. My goal of this channel is to share my experiences with my little one to hopefully help you plan out your next trips or your adventures with your family. So if that's the kind of content you like, click the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel. Today's video is going to go over our adventures at the State Fair of Texas in 2024. At the time, my little one was only a few months old, so this video will go into my point of view as a first-time mom. So, State Fair of Texas, for those of you who aren't familiar, it runs generally from the end of September to about the end of October time frame. In Texas, it's hot outside if you're considering the weather. Generally, just expect 80s, possibly 90-degree weather, although it could dip down and maybe into the 50s or 60s at night if you get a cold front, but it's hot outside, so definitely consider taking sunscreen, hats, fans, everything as if it's full summer, because it is still hot in Texas in September and October. I decided to go with her just because, one, anything that I could do with her to get out of the house, I wanted to do. So State Fair of Texas was no different. I was able to get our tickets. Generally, they do have discount days, and you'll have to check their website on the year that you plan on going, because most days they'll have like a discount. So like, bring in an empty Coke bottle, or bring in a jar of peanut butter, or some canned food for a canned food drive, or if you're military, you can get military discounts, or first responders. So there's lots of different discounts you can get, so you don't have to pay the upfront price. So we did get a discounted day, and the only thing that we didn't get discounted was parking. So getting there, there's a lot of parking options at the State Fair of Texas. I generally try to avoid Dallas, so I was pretty new to the parking situation. So pulling into the parking lot, I was a little overwhelmed just because there was a lot of cars. Texans do get a bad rap for not knowing how to drive, so this was no different. So there's a pretty long and narrow driveway for the most part. There's parking that you can kind of slant at an angle to park in. And for a first-time visitor, I didn't know, that there was a trolley that could take you from the front gate to a centralized parking location. So as you get in, you'll pay for parking, and then you'll go along this long driveway area. And we were just looking like, all right, we need to see where we can park so that way we're not having to walk too far. And I'll put an overlay on this video, but it is a really long driveway. If you see where the white tents are all the way at the end of the driveway, that's where the trolley can pick you up and drop you off at. So if you are getting towards this trolley area, probably just wait and get a spot closer to the trolley so that way you're not walking all the way to the front gate when you can just take the trolley. Generally, the trolley never had too long of a line. You may have to wait like 1 or 2 trolleys, but the trolleys were there every 5 minutes. And they did have a tent that you can sit or stand under, so definitely recommend taking the trolley if you can. If you have a stroller, probably try to park closer to the front so that way you don't have to take the trolley. When I took her during the day, I did take a stroller, and we got lucky and got a spot closer to the front. But when we went back in the evening hours, I put her in a carrier so that way I could take the trolley and not have to take her stroller. And in general, she preferred to be carried, so I put her in her carrier. Since it was a hot day, it was about 80 degrees whenever we went. I had her stroller. I had 2 of our rotatable fans. I had a big hat for me, a bucket hat for her. I took, just in case, one of our misting fans, the water bottle that you can spray water on her, and it has a fan on it if you can mist her, just in case it got a little too hot and needed to cool her down. I took her diaper bag, which has her usual, diapers, wipes, change of clothes just in case she has an accident, my nursing cover, some toys to distract her if she needed some distracting. And the stroller caddy, I had our sunscreens just to have accessible in case we were in the sun, although I didn't plan on having us in the sun like that. And that's what I had in her stroller. We didn't have tickets ahead of time, and I was easily able to buy our tickets at the front gate without a line. So if you're worried about that, you don't have to be. Although sometimes they do give discounts for buying your tickets ahead of time. So that's something to consider. For us though, we just got the tickets at the front gate, and looking at the time, I knew it was about time to feed her. She was generally on a schedule of eating about every 2 hours. So we got a map as soon as you walk, whenever you walk in, you will get a map. So we looked for their baby care center, which there was one near the livestock area, next to the front gate. So that's where we went first, was the baby care center. It was super nice. It was air conditioned. It had an area to nurse your baby. It had an area to change your baby. And most importantly, it had air conditioning. So that was great. You won't be able to fit a whole family in there, but for the parent or whoever's going to be directly changing or nursing the baby, it has enough room for you. From the baby care center, we looked around in the livestock area because it had like the swine barn, the livestock birthing area, and all of the livestock things. So we looked at some animals. She didn't know what she was looking at, but I like to think she had a good time. Just pointing different things out to her. I'm like, look, that's a pig. And doing the Old MacDonald Had a Farm song. After looking at all the animals, she started falling asleep, which was fine. They had a little kids area, like an indoor petting barn area that we went inside of. She was sleeping, but I wanted to go in there because one, they had air conditioning, and two, just wanted to look at all of the cool animals that they had. Like they had an ostrich, they had a buffalo, they had, goats, the usual, I guess, type of animals that you would expect to see. And they also had some pretty good shops that were right outside of it. So I got her first little Texan outfit, so a little romper dress, and her first pair of cowgirl boots. So that was super cute. If I found a cowgirl hat that would have matched, she 1000% would have gotten it, but didn't find one. Luckily or not luckily. So maybe next year she'll get a cowgirl hat, but got a cute outfit for her. And then we decided to head to see Big Tex himself. So we just followed the walking trail, looking at all of the unique food that they had available, looking at all the different fried options they had, like fried Oreos, fried ice cream. I even saw a fried fried lemonade or something of that nature, and I was like, what is going on here? Why is everything fried? I didn't get any of that. My biggest things were I need to see Big Tex and get a picture with him, and I need a turkey leg. After that, I didn't really care what else we saw. So we made our way along to Big Tex, got our pictures in front of him. There were a lot of people, but that's okay. Still got to see him. Got to see or hear him do the howdy folks. So that was good. And from there, it was pretty hot. So we decided to go into the car show area or the automobile building. And that was really cool, especially as a mom. I have a minivan right now, which I'm not looking at getting rid of anytime soon. But if you were needing help with upgrading your car, needing a better family-friendly vehicle, definitely recommend checking out this building because they had all of the mom cars. So they had the Ford Explorers, the Jeep Grand Wagoneers, the minivans, and honestly, any vehicle that you think could be a family vehicle was there. So it was great to be able to look inside of all of those and be like, oh, this one has buttons on the back. Oh, wow, look at how cool that would be. And then you look at the price tag and you're like, okay, keep walking. But definitely recommend the automobile building. It has air conditioning and it'll help you window shop for vehicles that you may or may not need. So that's great. They had a lot of different brands. They had Ford, Jeep, Chrysler, Honda, all of the car brands. So that was really good to look at. From there, we went across the walkway to the Grand Place. It was basically like a big indoor shopping expo. They just had a lot of different shopping type things that you might find, maybe like a mall area. So at one point, they had like a bathroom remodel type things. They had huge massage chairs that you may need inside of your game room area. They had clothes, belt buckles. It was just a big variety of things in that indoor expo area, but it was air conditioned, so they had a customer. After walking through there, we were heading to the next baby care room. This baby care room was pretty much the same as the other one. And like I said, it's not too big, so if there's a family in there, you probably want to like wait until they're out of there so that way you have some space. Because generally it's only one changing table and one chair to nurse your baby, so not super big, but does have air conditioning and it's helpful if you are the only family in there. Once we left the baby care center, we went to the children's aquarium, which was really nice. You do have to pay to get in, but it was really nice. It's inside of air conditioning, so that was great. And I did take the stroller in, and that was her first time in an aquarium. So being able to see her like look around and point out the different fish to her and the stingrays was super fun. It's not too big, but it has the essentials. It has the basics to make it an aquarium. So I recommend going to it. It takes about maybe 10-ish minutes to get through. And you can touch the stingrays and there's stingray exhibits. So if you have kids who are maybe interested in that, that's pretty cool. Um, but that was about it for the daytime activities, just because it was really hot outside. It was about 80 degrees. But when we went back another time in the evening when it was fully dark outside, so it was pretty cool, we did check out the fairgrounds. We also played games like knocking down the blocks with a baseball or trying to pick up a glass Coke bottle with a ring at the end of a fishing hook. Those type of carnival type games, win big prizes. They had rides. I didn't get on any rides because I didn't trust them, but they had rides, and it was pretty good activity or pretty good atmosphere for the most part. Definitely recommend doing that when it's cooler and not blazing sun because there wasn't a lot of shade in that area. Um, but that was pretty much our experience at the state fair. I would say it was good to get out of the house. I do recommend going when it's not super hot outside, or if you are going because you have the time off and you want to go when it's not super busy. Just planning out where you want to walk, where you want to get to air conditioning, bringing fans along with you if you're not going to be in the buildings as much, and just seeing what activities you want to do, or walk by, just be a part of. They do have concerts and play live music there as well. I didn't partake in those areas just because it was louder. I did have baby headphones for her, but it wasn't something I was looking at doing for this year. But for the future years, yes, absolutely. I'm probably going to look at staying for a concert or two. They do have the Cotton Bowl there, or Cotton Bowl Stadium, so maybe even checking out a football game or two. We'll see. We're Horned Frogs here, so until TCU plays, it's not urgent for me to visit. But yeah, that was our adventures at the state fair. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Thanks, y'all.